This is going to be case study number 8, Mining Disasters Resolution by Corey Harlow. This particular case study, number 8 in environmental science, is called mining disasters. It's all about the difference between renewable versus non-renewable energy sources and how we extract fossil fuels and how this can cause things to occur such as mining disasters. So first, let's talk about the difference between non-renewable and renewable energy sources. Non-renewable energy sources cannot be replenished an unlimited number of times. This means once you use them, there's no way to bring them back. This is what 85% of the world's energy comes from. This includes things such as fossil fuels like coal, oil, natural gas, oil shales, and tar sand. It's made completely out of dead animal and plant matter compressed together into a carbon-rich material used for fuel. Nuclear power is another example of non-renewable energy source, and generally speaking, non-renewable energy sources are used in developed countries. Renewable energy sources means that there will always be a large enough supply to replenish the amounts used. Solar, hydroelectric, tidal, geothermal, wind, and biomass energy are just a few. This is 15% of the world's energy, and this occurs mostly in developing countries. Here's a picture of the non-renewable energy sources here on the left versus the renewable energy sources here on the right. Moving on, let's talk about non-renewable energy sources. Coal. It's the most abundant fossil fuel. It's carbonaceous matter, and it was first compressed into a spongy material called peat, which is about 90% water. Now, there's 3 types of coal. There's anthracite, which is 100% carbon. This is the hardest coal. Then there's lignite, which is 50% carbon. And then there's bituminous coal, which is 85% carbon, and this is the most common type, especially found here in Virginia. There are 2 types of mining. You can either strip mine, which is bad for the surface and kills animals and plants, or subsurface mining, which is more dangerous for the miners. Environmental problems that come about when extracting coal is erosion and habitat destruction, and the possibility of a tunnel collapsing and gas explosions, powerful emissions being released in the environment, and harmful waste. Some resolutions to this is install scrubbers or electrostatic precipitators. And here's a coal mine in West Virginia. Now let's talk about oil and gas. Oil forms underground in shale rock, and this is where you get the term hydrofracking, when you drill into the ground and try to extract the oil from the shale rock, which is a major controversy. And the oil is usually found near tectonic plates, as these are the best conditions for it. There are 3 ways to recover oil. The primary stage, which is just using your normal reservoir pressure to extract the oil. Then there's the secondary stage, which is when you inject hot water to try and get the oil to release. This is the one that gets you the most oil. And then there's the tertiary stage, which is when you pump steam down in the hole to try and get the oil to come out. This is very dangerous. 50% of the oil is found in the Middle East, and environmental problems that come about is the release of atmospheric pollutants, and oil drilling is also a major problem. Some resolutions is reclamation, which is restoring an ecosystem so that it is socially acceptable, and restoration, which is changing a degraded ecosystem back to its original conditions. And then finally, I just want to show this picture of the Chilean mine disaster, and this is an example that we've talked about of how this would be a subsurface mine and how dangerous it can be. Individuals got stuck right here, and they had to send this little tube thing that one individual could stay in down to retrieve these individuals. They were stuck down there for 60 some days, and I hope you enjoyed this resolution.